and welcome to Kiki Crochet. In this video tutorial, we're going to learn how to crochet this beautiful tunic. I've crocheted for a size large and I used a total of 5.5 skeins of yarn, in which we're going to see in a few seconds. What I want to mention is that if you use a cotton yarn as I did, this tunic is suitable for all seasons except of winter, and depending on the yarn that you're going to choose, you can make this for any season that you prefer. Okay, what you need to know is that you're crocheting two straight pieces, you're joining them together, and you have your tunic. Okay, this is how it looks from the top going to the bottom. Okay, now let's go ahead and see the materials that we're going to use, the crochet hook, and how to work this design. The material that I'm going to use is natural cotton diva yarn, which is 100 grams, 200 meters each, and it's 100% cotton. This is a lightweight yarn, and I'm going to crochet with a 4.5 millimeters crochet hook. Now the stitch, the rule for the stitch is multiples of 5 plus 6, but we want the total number of chains to be an odd number. So what does this mean? So let's say that we work the repetition a total of 3 times. This is 3 times 5, 15 plus 6 is 21. The total number of chains to begin with is an odd number. If you work the repetitions 4 times, for example, 4 times 5 is 20 plus 6, in the end is 26. It's an even number, and we do not want an even number of chains because the design, the pattern is not going to come out right. Now for the big piece that I've made, I've started with a total of 231 chains. With the 231 chains, I'm working for a size large, and each piece is going to be 165 centimeters long. And now we're going to work a small sample of the pattern, okay, which I have already started with a chain of 31. For the big piece, I've worked 231. For the small piece, I'm starting with 31 chains. Okay. So let's go ahead and start row number 1. Count 4 chains from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put your hook in that 4th chain and work 1 double crochet. So since I've started with 31 chains and my first row is made out of double crochet, this means that from the 31 chains I'm going to have a total of 29 double crochet. Okay, so the 3 chains and the double crochet that I worked in the 4th chain give me my first 2 stitches. 2, next chain, 3, next one, 4, next one, 5, 6, 7, and keep crocheting up until you have a total of 29 double crochet. I've completed row number 1 with a total of 29 double crochet, and I'm going to start row number 2 by chaining 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn your work. Now those 4 chains count as my first double crochet and a chain 1 space. So since I have my first double crochet, I won't crochet in this stitch. The chain 1 space stands for the next stitch, so I'm going to work 1 double crochet in the 3rd stitch starting from the beginning. Chain 1, skip the next stitch and work a double crochet in the stitch after that. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, work a double crochet in the stitch after that. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, work a double crochet in the stitch after that. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, work a double crochet in the stitch after that. Okay, so this is how row number 2 is going to go. Go ahead and finish the row. When I reach this spot over here, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how we're going to crochet in the last 2 stitches. Okay, I'm almost done with row number 2 with my boxes. Now, after the double crochet that I've made, I'm going to work a chain 1 space as I did in the previous stitches. Okay, this is the second before the last double crochet. I'm not going to crochet in this stitch because I have my chain 1 space, and I'm going to work my last double crochet in the last stitch for the row, which is the chain 3 that I left in the beginning to turn to row 1. So counting from the bottom, put your hook in the 3rd chain. And work the last double crochet for this row. Now we're going to start row number 3 by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, in row number 3 we're going to work 1 double crochet in every stitch. This means that I'm going to be working 1 double crochet under every chain 1 space and 1 double crochet on top of each double crochet. So the chain 3 counts as my first stitch. Work your second double crochet under the chain 1 space, 1 double crochet on top of the double crochet, 3, 1 double crochet under the chain 1 space, 4, 1 double crochet on top of the double crochet, 5, 1 double crochet under the chain 1 space, 6, and keep crocheting up until you have 29 stitches. Well, once I reach my 27th, right over here, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how we're going to crochet the last 2 stitches. I'm almost done with my 3rd row. I've reached my 27th stitch. Now, in the previous row, we started with a chain 4, which was 1 double crochet and the chain 1 space. So what we're going to do is we're going to work 1 double crochet under the chain 1 space, and counting from the bottom, put your hook in the 3rd chain and work the last double crochet. So this was the end of row 3. Start row number 4 by chaining 1 and turn your work. In row number 4, we're going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch for a total of 29 stitches, starting from the very first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and keep crocheting up until you have 29 single crochet. I've completed row number 4 with a total of 29 single crochet, and now we're going to start row number 5 by chaining 2. 1, 2, and turn your work. I worked 2 chains, and I'm going to work 1 double crochet in the 2nd stitch, counting from the beginning. So what I just did, the chain 2 and the double crochet that I've just worked, is the same thing as working 2 stitches together. Those 2 count as 1 stitch. Now I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to skip the next stitch, put your hook in the stitch after that, and for a total of 3 stitches we're going to work 3 double crochet, which we are going to close as 1 stitch. Okay, so put your hook in the first stitch, grab the yarn, pull through the first 2 loops and leave the last 2 on your hook. Wrap the yarn around once, put your hook in the 2nd stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops and leave the last one on your hook. Yarn over once, put your hook in the 3rd stitch, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops and leave the last one on your hook. So we worked in a total of 3 stitches and we have 4 loops on our hook. Yarn over once and pull through all of those 4 loops. So this counts as 1 stitch. Now chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. skip the next stitch, and in the next 3 stitches we're going to work the 3 double crochet cluster. So skip the next one, put your hook in the next stitch, yarn over once, pull through the first 2 loops and leave the last 2 on your hook. Yarn over, put your hook in the second stitch, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops and leave the last one on your hook. Yarn over, put your hook in the third stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops and leave the last one on your hook. Again, we have 3 stitches and 4 loops. Grab the yarn, pull it through all of those 4 loops. Now chain 5, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the next stitch, and starting from the stitch after that, we're gonna work our 3 double crochet cluster. So put your hook in the first stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops and leave the last 2 on your hook. Yarn over once, put your hook in the second stitch, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, leave the last on your hook. Yarn over, put your hook in the third stitch, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops and leave the last one on your hook. Again, 3 stitches and 4 loops. Grab the yarn, pull through all of those 4 loops. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, skip the next stitch, starting from the stitch after that. Grab the yarn, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, put your hook in the second stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, put your hook in the third stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Again, 3 stitches and 4 loops. Yarn over, pull through all of those 4 loops. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the next stitch, starting from the stitch after that. Grab the yarn, pull through 2, yarn over once, put your hook in the second stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, put your hook in the third stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and grab the yarn and pull through all of those 4 loops. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the next stitch, starting in the stitch after that. Put your hook, yarn over once, pull through 2, yarn over, put your hook in the second stitch, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over once, put your hook in the third stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over once, and pull through all of those 4 loops. Now I'm left with only 3 stitches. So as I did in the beginning, where I only crocheted in the 2 stitches, in the first 2 stitches, the same thing is going to happen in the end of our row. So we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip the next stitch and work together the last 2 stitches. So put your hook in the second before last, grab the yarn, pull through 2, yarn over once, put your hook in the last stitch for this row, yarn over, pull through 2, so we have 2 stitches and 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over once and pull through all of those 3 loops. So this is how row number 5 looks like. Now we're going to start row number 6 by chaining 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and turn your work. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be working 1 single crochet in every 3rd stitch on every chain 5 space. Okay, so we're putting our hook in the center chain. So count 1, 2, 3, put your hook in that 3rd chain and work 1 single crochet. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead in the next chain 5 space and count 1, 2, 3 and single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead in the next chain 5 space, 1, 2, 3, and single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the next chain 1 space, 1, 2, 3, and single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the next chain 5 space, 1, 2, 3, and single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. 5. In the next chain space, 1, 2, 3, and single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In my last chain 5 space, count 1, 2, 3, and single crochet. Okay, so this was our last chain 5 space. Now, in order to finish the row, chain 2, 1, 2, and work 1 double crochet on top of the last stitch for this row. Okay, so this was the end of row number 6, and now we're going to start row number 7 by chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn your work. This chain 3 counts as 1 double crochet, so I'm going to work 1 double crochet in the first stitch. By doing this is the same thing as working 2 double crochet in the same stitch. Now chain 1, and now in every chain 5 space I'm going to be working 3 double crochet in every center chain, in every third chain. Okay, we're going to be working 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. In the next chain 5 space, 1, 2, 3. Work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 in the next chain space, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 double crochet. Chain 1 in the next chain space, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 double crochet. Chain 1 in the next chain space. Count 1, 2, 3, and work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, 1, 2, 3 in the last chain 5 space, work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. So now I'm only left with the last chain 5, which was the beginning of the previous row. So I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to count 3 chains, counting from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to work 2 double crochet in that last stitch for this row. Okay, 2 double crochet in the same chain stitch, 1 and 2. So we finished the row the same way we started. Okay, so this was row number 7. Now we're going to start row number 8, which is going to be 1 single crochet in every stitch. So chain 1 and turn your work. So when we say 1 single crochet in every stitch, we mean 1 in every double crochet and 1 under every chain 1 space. Okay, so starting from the first stitch, 1, 2 under the chain 1 space, 3, 4, 5, 6, under the chain 1 space, 7, and keep crocheting up until you have 29 single crochet. I have worked 27 single crochet so far. Now put your hook in the next double crochet, and that's our 28th, and make sure you don't lose the last stitch, which is the chain 3. Counting from the bottom, it's the 3rd chain, and this is my 29th single crochet for this row. Now we're going to start row number 9 by chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn your work. Now we're going to work 1 double crochet in every stitch for a total of 29 stitches. So the 3 chains are my first double crochet, starting from the next stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep crocheting for 29 double crochet. I've completed row number 9. Now we're going to start row number 10 by chaining 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, we're going to create our boxes that we have down here. So this chain 4 counts as my first double crochet and the chain 1 space. So this is my double crochet. The next stitch is my chain 1 space. So starting from the 3rd stitch, I'm going to work 1 double crochet. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, put your hook in the stitch after that, and work 1 double crochet. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, put your hook in the stitch after that, and work 1 double crochet. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, and work 1 double crochet. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, and work 1 double crochet. Okay, so keep working your boxes, and right here in the end you're going to work double crochet, chain 1, skip the next stitch, and the last stitch that we're going to work a double crochet is in the chain 3. Counting from the bottom, you're going to put your hook in that 3rd chain. I've completed my row. Now we're going to start row number 11 by chaining 3 and turn your work. Okay, this chain 3 counts as my first double crochet, and we're going to work 1 double crochet in every stitch for a total of 29 stitches. So the chain 3 is my first stitch, under the chain 1 space, 2 on top of the double crochet, 3 under the chain 1 space, 4 on top of the double crochet, 5, and keep crocheting for a total of 29 stitches. Now once you reach here in the end, work 1 double crochet under the chain 1 space, and counting from the bottom, put your hook in the 3rd chain to work your 29th stitch. I've completed my row. Now we're going to start row number 12 by chaining 1 and turn your work. Now we're going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch for a total of 29 single crochets, starting from the 1st stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep crocheting for a total of 29 stitches. Make sure your last stitch is the chain 3, so put your hook in that 3rd chain. I've completed my row. Now we're going to start row number 13 by chaining 3 and turn your work. This chain 3 counts as your first stitch, as the first double crochet. So starting from the 2nd, we're going to work again 1 double crochet in every stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and keep crocheting for a total of 29 double crochet. I completed my row. Now we're going to start row number 14 by chaining 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn your work. Now those 4 chains count as a double crochet and a chain 1 space for the next stitch. So start crocheting from the third double crochet. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, work a double crochet in the stitch after that. Chain 1, skip the next stitch and work a double crochet. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, work a double crochet in the stitch after that, and repeat this pattern up until you finish the row. So once you reach the third double crochet from the end, this is a double crochet, chain 1, skip the next stitch, and the last double crochet is the chain 3. I've completed row 14, and now we're going to start row 15 by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3, and turn your work. In row 15, we're going to work 1 double crochet in every stitch for a total of 29 stitches. So this chain 3 was my first stitch, under the chain 1 space 2, on top of the double crochet 3, under the chain 1 space 4, on top of double crochet 5, and keep crocheting up until the end of the row. We're right over here in the last after the last double crochet, work 1 double crochet under the chain 1 space, and counting from the bottom, put your hook in the third chain and work the last double crochet for the row. I've completed row 15. Now we're going to start row 16 by chaining 1 and turn your work. Now we're going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch, starting from the first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep crocheting for 29 stitches. I've completed row number 16. Now we're going to start row number 17 by chaining 3. Turn your work. Those chain 3 count as our first double crochet. So starting from the second stitch, work a total of 29 double crochet. 1 double crochet in every stitch. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and keep crocheting for a total of 29 double crochet. I've completed row number 17 with a total of 29 double crochet, and from row 18 through 20 I'm going to work again the design with the mesh and the clusters. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Row number 18 by chaining 2 and turn your work. Work 1 double crochet in the second stitch. So by doing this, the chain 2 and the double crochet count as 1 stitch. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the next stitch. Starting from the next stitch, and for a total of 3 stitches, we're going to work a 3 double crochet cluster. Okay, so put your hook in the first stitch, yarn over once, pull through 2, and leave the last 2 on your hook. Yarn over once, put your hook in the second stitch, yarn over once, pull through 2, and leave the last one on your hook. Yarn over once, put your hook in the third stitch, yarn over once, pull through 2. So we have 3 stitches and 4 loops. Yarn over once, pull through all of those 4 loops. Now chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the next stitch. Starting from the stitch after that, put your hook, yarn over once, pull through 2, and leave the last 2 on your hook. Yarn over once, put your hook in the second stitch, yarn over once, pull through 2, and leave the last one on your hook. Yarn over once, put your hook in the third stitch, yarn over once, pull through 2, and leave the last on your hook. So again, we have 3 stitches, 4 loops. Grab the yarn, pull through all of those 4 loops. We're going to do a last one together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the next stitch. Starting from the stitch after that, put your hook, yarn over once, pull through the first 2 loops and leave the last 2 on your hook, yarn over once, put your hook in the next stitch, yarn over once, pull through 2 and leave the last one on your hook, yarn over once, put your hook in the 3rd stitch, yarn over once, pull through 2 and leave the last loop on your hook. So again, 3 stitches, 4 loops. Grab the yarn, pull through all of those 4 loops, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep repeating the pattern up until the end, where here that we're going to work the second before the last cluster. You're going to skip the next stitch, you're going to work the chain 5, skip the next stitch, and the last cluster is going to be made out of the last 2 stitches. So 2 stitches, 3 loops, and that's going to be the end of our row. The same way we started with only 2 stitches. Okay? I've completed row 18. Now we're going to start row 19 by chaining 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn your work. And in this row we're going to be chaining 5 and working a single crochet in the center chain of every chain 5 space. So in the 3rd chain in every space. 1, 2, hold on. 1, 2, 3, and work your first single crochet. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead in the next chain 5 space. 1, 2, 3, and single crochet. Chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead in the next chain space. 1, 2, 3. And single crochet. So keep repeating this pattern, chain 5 and single crochet in the 3rd chain of every chain 5 space. Once you crochet the single crochet in the last chain 5 space, I'm going to turn the video back on to finish row number 19 together and then start row number 20. I'm almost done with my row. I've worked my single crochet in the last chain 5 space. So now in order to finish the row, I'm going to chain 2 and I'm going to work 1 double crochet in the last stitch for this row. So this was row number 19. Now we're going to start row number 20 by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3, and turn your work. Work 1 double crochet in the same stitch, in the 1st stitch. So by doing this, we have 2 double crochet in the 1st stitch. Now chain 1. And in the 1st chain 5 space, go ahead in the 3rd chain and work 3 double crochet in that same chain stitch. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. Go ahead in the next chain 5 space, count 1, 2, 3, and work 3 double crochet in that chain stitch. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. Go ahead in the next chain 5 space, count 1, 2, 3, and work 3 double crochet in that same stitch. 1, 2, and 3. So keep repeating this pattern, chain 1 and work 3 double crochet in every chain, in every 3rd chain of the chain 5 spaces. Okay, so this chain 3 here, here. Once you crochet in your last chain 5 space, once you reach here, your last space, count 3 chains from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, and in that 3rd chain, work 2 double crochet, the same way we started, okay? So 3 double crochet, chain 1, and 2 double crochet in your last stitch for the row. I've completed row number 20. Now we're going to start row number 21 by chaining 1 and turn your work. we're going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch, starting from the first stitch. 1, 2, 1 single crochet under the chain 1 space, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 single crochet under the chain 1 space, 7, and keep crocheting for a total of 29 stitches. I've completed my row with 29 single crochet. Now we're going to start row number 22 by chaining 3. Turn your work, and we're going to work 1 double crochet in every stitch. Okay, so the 3 chains count as my first stitch, starting from the second. 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep crocheting for a total of 29 double crochet. I've completed my row. Now we're going to start row number 23 by chaining 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn your work. Those 4 chains count as our first double crochet, the chain 1 space, so start crocheting from the 3rd stitch. 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip the next stitch, put your hook in the stitch after that, and work 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip the next stitch, put your hook in the stitch after that, and work 1 double crochet. Okay, so keep repeating the pattern to form your boxes. Okay, and here in the end, in the 3rd before the end stitch, work your double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet in the last stitch, which is our chain 3. I've completed my row. Now we're going to start row number 24 by chaining 3. Turn your work, and we're going to work 1 double crochet in every stitch. My chain 3 is my first stitch, under the chain 1 space, 2, on top of the double crochet, 3, under the chain 1 space, 4, on top of the double crochet, 5, and keep crocheting for 29 double crochet. Once you reach here in the end, 1 double crochet under the chain space, and counting from the bottom, put your hook in the 3rd chain to work the 29th stitch. I've completed my row. I'm going to start now row number 25. So chain 1 and turn your work, and I'm going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch, starting from the first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep crocheting for a total of 29 single crochet. I've completed row number 25, and I'm left with my last 2 rows for the pattern, row number 26 and row number 27. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn your work. Row 26 and 27 are going to be 2 rows with 1 double crochet in every stitch. So the chain 3 counts as 1 stitch, starting from the second one, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So go ahead and finish this row number 26, 29 stitches, and start and go ahead and work row number 27 off camera, which is the same exact thing as we did right over here. Chain 3 and 29 double crochet in total. Okay, once I finish row number 26 and 27, I'm going to turn my video back on to explain how we're going to work this in bigger pieces. I've completed crocheting the last 2 rows, so my pattern is made out of a total of 27 rows. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of my video, this is a size large, and I'm crocheting with a 4.5mm crochet hook, and I made a total of 27 rows. Now this is going to have the right width that you need to make your two pieces for a size large. For a size small and medium, you're going to work your 27 rows with a 4mm crochet hook. And for a size extra large, you're going to work your 27 rows with a size 5mm crochet hook. If you want to make your poncho tunique wider than extra large, if you want to make it for a bigger size, you're going to work with a 4.5mm crochet hook, and you can choose to repeat any of the rows of the design. This is a freehand design. I just picked those stitches, a multiple in the beginning if you want to make it longer or shorter, okay? And you can pick any rows to repeat throughout your pattern, okay? So once we finish our two big pieces that are made out of 231 stitches, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to join the front, the back, and the sides to create the sleeves. I have completed crocheting my two pieces that are 165 centimeters each and a total of 27 rows. So I have two equal pieces. Okay, and the way that we're going to finish we're going to finish off each piece is by chaining one, cut the yarn, pull the loop, and tighten up. What we're going to do now is we are going to fold each piece in half, okay? And I'm going to start joining. First, I'm going to join the first piece and I'm going to start crocheting to form the sleeve opening, okay? So the way that we're going to do this is on both pieces, I want to have on the side, the closing on the side, I want to have the beginning of row 1, okay? I want to have the chain stitches on the side, and on the center that I'm going to close, I want to have the last rows of double crochet. So we're going to join with slip stitches, and the side that I'm going to work the slip stitches is going to be the wrong side of my work. What I'm going to do is the top part over here, I have measured the arm opening, okay? So you're going to measure from your shoulder up to under your underarm, the centimeters, and my arm opening is 23 centimeters. So what I'm going to do is from the top, I'm going to measure 23 centimeters, and I'm going to attach a stitch marker. So right here is where I'm going to work my last slip stitch, and this is going to be the arm opening. So starting from the bottom, okay, I'm going to attach the yarn on the first stitch on the front side and on the first stitch on the back side. I'm going to take the yarn and pull it through both stitches and chain one. Now put your hook on the second stitch on the front side and on the second stitch on the back side and slip stitch. Put your hook in the third stitch on the front side, on the third stitch on the back side, and work a slip stitch. Put your hook in the fourth stitch on the front side, on the fourth stitch on the back side, and work a slip stitch. Put your hook on the fifth stitch on the front side and on the fifth stitch on the back side and slip stitch. Okay, so keep working one slip stitch in the same stitch in the front as in the back up until you reach the stitch marker. Make sure you count how many slip stitches you're going to work. So you're going to work the same number of slip stitches on the other piece to close the side as well. Okay, so once I reach my stitch marker, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to close up and how to work the other piece of camera. I'm almost done crocheting. I've worked 82 slip stitches so far. Okay, so I'm going to take the stitch marker out to work the last slip stitch. Okay, so in the 83rd stitch on the front and the 83rd stitch on the back, slip stitch, chain 1, cut the yarn, pull the loop and tighten up. Okay, so this is my arm opening. Now I'm going to take my second piece and I'm going to fold it in half as well. Okay, I want to see row number 1 and the chain stitches that I did on the beginning. And starting from excuse me, starting from the first stitch, work 83 slip stitches going upwards. So this is on the other side, your other armhole. Okay, so once I finish working my slip stitches on the second piece, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to join in the front, the back, to finish our poncho. I have completed attaching for the sleeves on both pieces, on the one side and on the other side as well. What we're going to do now is we're going to crochet in the center to close the top part together and the back part of our poncho. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the ends on both pieces. Okay, the end of the top part and the end of the top part on the other side and join them together. And I'm going to close for as many stitches as I did for the sleeves on the sides. So I'm going to close, I'm going to work a total of 83 slip stitches again. So put your hook on the first double crochet on the front and the first double crochet on the back. Now take the yarn and pull it through both stitches and chain 1. Now put your hook on the second double crochet on the front and the second double crochet on the back and work your slip stitch. Oops. Put your hook on the third stitch on the front, the third stitch on the back and work your slip stitch. Fourth stitch on the front, fourth stitch on the back and work your slip stitch. Fifth stitch on the front, fifth stitch on the back and work your slip stitch. Okay, so keep working slip stitches up until you have 83 stitches again. I've completed working my 83 stitches going upwards. Chain 1, cut the yarn, pull the loop and tighten up. So we completed attaching the front piece of our poncho. Okay, so this is what we just joined going upwards. Now we want to grab the two back pieces and join them together as well. Make sure all of your schemes are on the same side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to join the two corners together again. Okay, so again attach the first double crochet of the front piece with the first double crochet of the back piece and start joining for 83 slip stitches again. Okay, so this is the back part of our poncho that we're about to join now. Okay, so once I finish my 83 slip stitches going upwards, I'm going to turn my video back on. I've completed joining the front and the back. Okay, and this is what we have as a result. So here's my sleeve. This is the opening that's left when we join the 83 stitches working from the bottom to the top. Okay, and this is my other sleeve over here. Going downwards, this is how our poncho looks like. Okay, now you can crochet this for any season that you prefer. If you crochet with cotton yarn, you can use it for all seasons except winter. And you can work any stitch that you like. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, you can make it for winter time depending on the yarn that you choose. Okay, now if you want to make sleeves 3/4, or if you want to make it long sleeve, what you can do is attach your yarn on the bottom of the, here on the armhole, okay, right here under, right here where we have the skein. You can attach your yarn and you can choose to make it with double crochet. You can make boxes, double crochet, boxes, double crochet, and so on. Now if you're going to make it with boxes and double crochet, the first row is you're going to start with 4 chains, skip the next stitch, double crochet in the stitch after that, chain 1, skip the next stitch, double crochet in the stitch after that, all around. Work your slip stitch and turn your work. Okay, now you're going to make 1 double crochet in every stitch. So you're going to start by chaining 3 and double crochet in every single stitch of the row. Slip stitch in the first double crochet, chain 4, and turn your work. Again, skip the first stitch and double crochet in every second stitch. Okay, if you want to make sleeves, or you can leave it as it is. Okay, so thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and if you like the video, please press like and leave a comment. Thanks again. Bye bye.